QVC Quality Violent Cinema.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the season finale of Season 2 of Quality Violent Cinema. I'm here with Christian.
What's up?
And of course, I'm Ian. You can probably see our names at the bottom until we can figure out how to get rid of those. Yeah, so it's been an awesome journey finally switching over to this visual format that we've been hyping up, and I think it's gone really well. I got to flex my editing skills that I learned a long time ago, and yeah, we got to scan all your DVD covers that are in the background and throw those in. And it's just been,
yeah, it seems like it's all been coming together pretty well and pretty quickly.
Kind of what I've been saying. It's really cool. I really like our channel. I actually honestly have caught myself watching like our videos just randomly sometimes, and it's a pain in the ass to edit them, but sometimes, but not always.
But that give you definitely insightful, and it's not just, like based on what we say, but just on who we're interviewing.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming along on this short but really impactful journey that we've had so far. It
already feels longer than a year.
Yeah, so it's been a year. That's kind of why we wanted to cap the season off, because this is a year of Christian and I doing this as of a couple days ago. And we're gonna go on to next season, bringing you like even stepping up more with more shows, more episodes, shorts, like all kinds of crazy shit. So
yeah, you can kind of call this the QVC quarterly, because we're gonna do like things like every 6 months, kind of like split it up.
This is when the guidance counselor from high school checks in on you every quarter to make sure you're not going to shoot up the school. That's what we're doing with you right now. We're trying to make sure you're all right after all the crazy shit we put you through over
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because that's crazy. I can't believe we've interviewed like over 30 people, and it doesn't seem like much, but when you add it all up, it's like it's a lot of people to work with and juggle.
And people that I idolize, which is, or maybe idolize isn't really even a good way to put it, because I think everyone's their own individual.
Well, looked up to and never maybe thought like 2 years ago that you would have actually been interviewing these people.
Yeah, so. Just honored, I guess would be a better word. It's just like, I think I've almost told every person that so far, like it's been an honor. And it's like, I need to stop saying that, because I know. It just sounds so played out all the time, just to always be honored. Like, but especially with my new show, Horror Corridor, which hopefully some of you guys got to check out. If there's probably an artist in there for everybody, if you can at least dig a little bit of hip hop. There's a different style probably for every guest I've had so far. And
we kind of hope that, I think that's something that could be a slow burn, but it could just because like, they're not maybe as popular, but then all of a sudden when they do pick up, or it takes people just to be like, I just never heard of them. And, maybe that's what Horror Corridor is all about and needs to be out there, is making these bands out there and recognized, because people don't know about them.
Plus, I mean, just like our movie episodes, the artists I'm picking are very underground and very niche and very brutal. And that's not like, and as we've talked about throughout both seasons so far, that's a kind of a part of art that's being disintegrated, especially in the mainstream. So it is really hard to pitch Horror Corridor as well as Quality Violent Cinema to any mainstream audience. Hope you guys like dogs, because there's going to be a lot of that this episode.
Yeah, he basically is every episode. You can somehow hear my dog barking, but...
We'll have him as a guest sometime. Like, I've edited him out a few times, but like sometimes it's just too funny not to like take it out. You've probably heard it a few times if you listen closely.
Yeah, so... I guess like... Sorry, I'm trying to think of what we can do after this. Because we're talking about like where we came from.
Oh, yeah. It is crazy, definitely, to see how we were just eventually... How we were brought together through Facebook, an extreme horror community, and like me coming over to your house to sell you some stuff and turned into the show. And now we're on YouTube. And I don't know, a lot of people haven't heard our early episodes because they've only listened to us on YouTube, especially people that got into us through the Discord.
And that'll change. We just have some ideas of putting those out and making them.
We just want to make them
nice,
a little flashy, but I don't know. Maybe we could put like temporary versions that are just like a thumbnail and put them out, and like I don't know. We'll think.
Yeah, we'll think about everything. Yeah. But it's been cool, and and I like how kind of giving season 2 a chance to shine, and and then all of a sudden going back into season 1, it'll be kind of like give people the chance to kind of see all that, so it gives each one like kind of a separate entity. But it is kind of cool, and just to kind of let people know like where the name QVC and where we started from it and our original idea. Well, it started actually, to be honest, my girlfriend kind of helped out with the name and getting a lot of it like finalized. But we were, I pitched it as like original idea is kind of like a out of print resale idea. And then we kind of started as a joke. It was like, oh yeah, we can have movies that come up as like a rotating thing, and it kind of clicked, and then it worked, and we were just thinking like, well, that actually works for more than just that. Like quality violent cinema can relate to a lot of different things and a lot of different, and kind of just be an umbrella on, and that's basically what we've turned it into, is more like a network name that we can do stuff alongside of it if we wanted to. Which I think is really cool, and I think like from that, not letting ourselves be limited to like having a name that's a little broad, that we can do different things. Like doing the movie screenings has been a lot of fun, and that took from an idea that we originally did it as we were watching I Love Snuff, and we wanted to do like a reaction thing, and then we just like thought of the idea. I was like, well, how can we do this where we could get an audience like watching it with us? And we never even thought about putting the director involved, but then it just all kind of seemed, thing is like, why not all that? Why not, have the director there, have them be talking, have the Q&A, have people be able to interact with that. And we definitely want to continue that into something that's it's a challenge to do both interviews and also doing those when you're focusing. And we're just focusing so much on our YouTube.
We were grinding for a minute too. Like we were doing topic episodes, screenings, and like it was before I started the secondary shows, but it was like a crazy grind for a while. But it was really rewarding because we met a lot of our listeners through those screenings, and we met those directors, and can't wait to get back to doing that. So I think season 3 is gonna probably have a few recorded versions of those if they turn out okay. But that's kind of something that's hard to plan ahead, to like if a Q&A or whatever is going to actually sound good for like a recording, but it makes good content for some people, so we might end up doing that. But also that kind of goes on to our Patreon. We did just start a Patreon. We got to shout out to Bones, man, like one of our biggest supporters from the beginning. Check out his podcast. Is it Bones and Brews?
Bones and Brews, yeah.
Yeah. He's had a lot of the similar guests that we've had, so if you like our show, check his show out, and you might like get a few extra like tidbits on the stuff. So
yeah, and I like how we kind of have that, like a trifecta, because you have Jonathan Doe's stuff and Bones, and we're all kind of like interconnected, and it kind of shows that we need to be in order for like a niche community, because we can't just be like competing, being like, well, that person's doing, like, no, we all need to work together. Yeah. So
I only mentioned him because he's our first patron too, so we'll shout him out later too. So yeah, we got one patron so far, which is Bones, so thank you so much. Just wanted to give a shout out to our very first patron on our season 2 finale. So if you want to see some stuff that's not going to be on the social medias, like join our Patreon. Also, it helps us out a lot because we have subscriptions that we pay for in order to make the show look and sound good, and also to maintain the Discord. And I don't know, it's really not a lot of money, and it doesn't eat into our wallet too bad, but it would be nice to have a little bit of help and support.
No, even a shout out to the couple people that have boosted our Discord. You know, because it takes money and it takes some time, and you know, we didn't ask of that, and it's nice for people to just do it and give us a boost, like stuff like that. It's nice to see. So.
And I actually made a permanent invite link and added that to the show notes of everything. So you should be able to click on that and join in. I don't know how long we'll keep that open for, but for now, our Discord's open. So join on in.
I mean, we have mods and moderators now. We have had, you know, issues before, but we've figured out how to make it a secure place that
and they're on like all day, which is really cool. They kind of have a system, so like, we haven't really had
basically different people from different parts of the world, so we're basically 24-hour surveillance essentially.
No nonsense has happened since they signed up, so that was really cool. What are their names again? We got Visitor. It was Visitor Q.
Visitor Q is one. Goblins one. They all have the hammer.
Reginald Grimsby.
Yeah, that's another mod.
Yeah. So that's the Discord
I'm not
names.
mentioning somebody, I'm sorry.
We don't know your real names, but those are your Discord names. Pepperoni, what's up? Yeah. So thank you guys also Discord. Like, we didn't even know what the hell we were doing when we started that thing. Like, and then I got on like day 2 of us having the Discord, and you went in there and you created all these channels, and I was like, this could actually be something.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't have any idea. And shout outs also to Silas being the first person on the Discord, and he's been such a supporter.
QVC wouldn't be what it is without Silas. He did our. I mean, you look at the backdrop behind us; it's like basically our iconic imagery is.
Yeah, and look forward to some stuff with him too. We have some new imagery that's going to be like. You guys are going to love the new stuff. So.
Oh yeah. We got a few things coming along down the pipe, and if they go the way that like people said, these are like big collaborations with big artists. And I'm not just talking about episodes. I'm talking about like there might be some audio, there might be some visual, there might be some audio visual stuff that's pretty cool. And it's like it's big collaboration.
Working on some mixtapes, working on some possible shorts, working on some possible music videos. Yeah.
So, of course, I have a baby now, so can't really work at the same speed anymore. But I've been cranking shit out, so it's all good. He's kind of He's a nice little helper while I do my video editing. He's watching me, so he's got his little play set next to me.
Yeah. So I was getting into what started Horror Corridor. What was your big reason on that?
So, I think. When it comes to like dark music, there's metal. Everyone thinks about heavy metal as being like the main genre that is like the fucked up, offensive. Because you have stuff like Anal Cunt and Cannibal Corpse, which it takes it pretty far. And you have Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, which a lot of people looked up to as children when they were into shock. But as kids, a lot of people loved that stuff when it came to shock rock. But the thing is, when it comes to like heavy, like death metal and stuff, you can't really hear the fucked up lyrics. But when it comes to hip hop, you can hear very defined. It's like almost like their poetry style of telling a story. So it's really something I admire, and I think it is very cinematic. Horrorcore music and hip hop in general has always been very cinematic. It tells a story, gives you something to kind of chew on. And listen to over and over again for that replay value. And I just think that horrorcore music, Horror Corridor, and we do want to have some metal artists, some industrial artists and stuff.
Power violence I'd love to get into, especially the people that use a lot of like real death in their covers and kind of getting into their minds and things, and
But we want to find people that kind of take it a little too far, almost like, because we just want to like keep it violent. We're not just going to do any municipal waste style band. We're gonna like look for something like Kettle Cadaver or like nothing racist though. That's like one thing I take a pretty strong stance against. I'm a pretty big snowflake when it comes to racism, but I'm proud of it. So proud of being a snowflake about that.
I mean, I'd be like down to get like Danny Filth because of like the movies that they did.
Oh yeah, Danny Filth's legendary, and he's been doing collabs with the underground lately. He did something with Twisted recently. He did. What was the other one? It was a big pretty big collab. And I was like, I think it was a video game. Like he had a skin in some video game. So I was just like,
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah,
working
because
with
he
a
has that
public.
Baphomet and then Cradle of Fear, or yeah.
Yeah, and they've done action figures recently too. The Cradle of Filth brand, which are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be cool to. I'd love to talk to Cradle of Filth guys. Actually, this goes way back, but I interviewed. I think his name was Paul, the bassist of Cradle of Filth. It was about 10 years ago. I interviewed them in their trailer. It was very interesting. They were cool.
Hmm.
Cradle of Filth was the nicest of the bands that I interviewed for that metal
Yeah.
show that I was part of.
And maybe not, we obviously can't talk to Killjoy, but maybe the remaining band members
Mm-hmm.
of Necrophagia would be cool to hit up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff like that's like it's. I don't feel like metal is really that shocking anymore, unfortunately. But if you reach into
Mm-mm.
underground, you can find stuff like I'm sure there's lots of industrial and crazy shit. Like as long as they're like putting something out like graphic and then saying I'm down to have it be part of the show. But
Mm-hmm.
I do
Because even their
listen.
music videos attached to what they do, same with like Jason Porter, there's technically hasn't, their music videos, they're kind of
Oh
like,
yeah, full of blood and gore. Like they're
mm-hmm,
just like little short films and stuff. Like and some of them
mm-hmm,
take it pretty far. Um, So yeah, but I predominantly listen to hip hop and especially horrorcore hip hop. So that's why the show goes that way. Because the thing about the show, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, is the reason that I make the show the way I do, where it's a really deep dive and I know a lot about the artists. If you listen to the interviews, I know a lot about it. It's because these are people that I've been listening to for years. And now I'm doing these like new artist showcase, which you'll see coming up this Sunday with Kill a Factor, but I'm having new artist showcase mixed in to give them some shine in between these legendary artists that I've been listening to for a long time. So
mm-hmm.
that's why I pick the people I pick. They're people that I've known about that are special. I know all their lyrics. I know. So yeah, that's one of the main points of the show is it's like kind of a bucket list show. Like these are people that are legendary to me.
Should we get into the maybe DVD thing that we were talking about, the music video stuff, the compilation?
Music video compilation.
I'm getting where we could possibly get potential artists to do a CD.
Oh yeah, I mean that was just one idea, like to do like a freaking mixtape or like a video, even maybe like a video component mixtape would be really sweet to do with QBC brand. Just have to
Mm-hmm.
see who's on board. I mean, a lot of these horrorcore artists are just so open to doing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and if
And I would love
if
to make
it's
original songs with it too. It'd be cool.
oh yeah, heck yeah. So yeah, there's definitely some people that I've been talking to about doing all kinds of stuff, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can throw myself back in the ring of singing again. I am actually thinking about re-releasing, having remix and remaster my old albums,
Mm-hmm.
and I was gonna put out a mixtape. It would be probably 20 songs that have been recorded over the last 20 years, I think. All me on vocals, and there might be a few songs at the end with just me playing
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I might put that out. It's all good stuff. It just
Well,
hasn't been released to the public.
guess who used to be a singer too? So
Ooh, maybe we should do a duet sometime.
yeah.
That'd be cool. What kind of stuff did you sing? I forgot. Was like industrial?
It was kind of like industrial funk punk, if that makes sense. We were kind of trying to like really do a fusion. That was one of the bands, but I
Yep.
started with more like the punk, like hardcore kind of style. But I also was in a Tool cover band in high school, so I kind of have a interesting range,
Tool
you
cover
know.
band is, I'm just gonna say, a great way to learn how to play your instruments.
Hmm.
Like to
And sing
me,
too.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Tool and Deftones and all that. Like the songs are somewhat easy, but a little bit challenging. Like
They
because
have
like
some range. There's some high ends. If you don't do it right, you just sound fucking awful, and it's just piercing.
yeah, I can't do the high stuff, as you can tell from my voice. I'm more of a typo negative kind of guy.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can see
want to
that.
be. I don't want to be me. Yep. And then I started a new show with my wife, Presley, which has been really awesome. gotten a lot of good response on that. That's Parents Under the Stairs. Puts. That's what that stands for. Yeah, we just been going over cool shit. A little bit more on the mainstream side than regular QVC, or even, but like still we kind of cover extreme shit
Yeah.
because that's what we're into.
But we also realize that it's hard to just jump right into the crazy stuff if like and some people just want to know what's like that medium so that they can like ease into extreme cinema.
Hmm.
So I think that's kind of why we wanted to do Parents of the Stairs as well, so that people could come and try to find their like easy, healthy medium between.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
It's also like a really good palate cleanser when you're like watching like White Gardenia, and like
Hmm.
shit can get pretty dark when you're watching like our White Gardenia episodes, even though he's like a really positive dude.
Hmm.
Um, it's like, I don't know, it gets really philosophical and really
Yeah.
like, and just, the like,
Getting into
so,
transhumanism and
and then
right.
even just self mutilation at its base is a very extreme topic. So it's like, then you can watch some Parents Under the Stairs to kind of take the load off.
Yeah, and see the stuff that you used to watch as a child that scared you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's just really easy to throw together too. So we were cranking them out every Sunday for a while. We're taking a little bit of break to fine tune it, but
Yeah.
it'll come back swinging. I got some cool stuff coming up during this little break that we're going to be taking.
Hmm.
It's not really a break because Horror Corridor is going to come out regularly. I got some cool ghosts. Fuck.
I think it's just easy because we it's easy to find like a way of doing like a 6 month break, and then my birthday's also in October, which would break into that, which would then be like a way of taking off. But I might even take some time and do a blogging and go to Cinema Wasteland during that time or whatever is going around during that, and take some time. So
Yeah, so the channels are going to be active, especially the YouTube channel. So we're going to be doing like throwing up a lot of short content on there. The Patreon, I'm sure we'll have stuff going. So it's just going to be pretty much a show, but it's not going to have like formal episodes as much. And then we're
mhm.
going to be, if you're on the Discord, that's where a lot of the action's going to be. Is
Yeah, and getting into the Discord because the future of our Discord because there's definitely some ideas that we've been talking about and because like I said I don't want to limit QVC to just be on a podcast. Like I still kind of want to keep in that topic based discussion, but I kind of want to just do like two different things, well three different things really that are new. One is TV Party, which is now going on. I'm trying to do is this kind of just a showcasing different horror television, and I might even throw in some like fucked up commercials and stuff just to make it feel like you're watching TV. And this is more to just to have fun and talk shit, and because I feel that there's a lot of things about the structure and trying to be like somewhat scripted and these things that limits a lot of just like the wit and humor
mm-hmm.
that that I have that I'm not able to really like shine out a lot. So
Not just you either. I mean,
yeah,
everyone. It's just
yeah,
kind of how it
everybody.
goes. When you
Like we
script
have
it
some
too
funny
much,
motherfuckers that are in our Discord, and we just know
yeah.
some really very funny and have some people that have like, some very interesting stuff to say. So we want to like be able to have them an opportunity to showcase and
Mm-hmm.
talk as well. And so that's another thing we want to do is like have people in the Discord a chance to interact with us. And so another thing is we want to do kind of like a game show type thing, and we one name I'm throwing around is Name That Whore, but it's like obviously HOO or HORR, kind of thing. But I want to do like short clips of horror that are just from like these really graphic horror scenes, and then these people have to like see if they can guess what movie it comes from, and I might like weirdly cropped it so it's not so obvious, and do some kind of things to just to kind of make it fun, and then we can throw in some interesting facts, like if say someone guessed it really quick with the screen still going, we just talk about the movie and stuff. Um, but then also I want to do a discussion panel called Questioning Morality, where we basically have a panel of about 4 to 5 people, maybe one like special guest that's maybe a director or somebody that's related to that topic. Um, we might get into cannibalism, or we might get into murder memorabilia, or we might get into true crime, or we might just decide to like talk on a topic. Might even just be a director, might be a distribution company, and it's just kind of like a way of having
like a panel at a convention, sort of, but like with like a big open discussion.
And we might talk into like who wants to get in and figuring out who would be interested and stuff. But we definitely want to have people the opportunity to have a voice on our Discord, not just us talking the whole time.
Hey, it might influence people to make their own shows too. So
I think I know, and I hope that it kind of already has. I've noticed definitely some some people that are definitely doing seems like there's some influences, so it's cool.
Heck yeah. Unfortunately, the show that got me into this stuff, fucking Bind Torture Cast, is no longer a show. They had their last episode around the time that we started this show, so hopefully we're picking up the reins. Hopefully some of their fans came over to us, but probably not.
Yeah. Another thing I want to kind of start doing is it's another future channel, because we've been doing very rough outlines of stuff. Like when we go into an episode, we end up talking about like 100 different films, so it's hard to just do an analysis on that one particular film. So I'm going to do a thing called either Getting to Know My Shelf, which is I'm going to do kind of like showcasing my collection and then doing a review based on that collection, or just calling it Violent Cinema Review, basically in that same concept of where doing the same with like the QVC, but doing the VCR with a Violent Cinema Review, which is kind of, So that's something that we, I definitely am looking forward to and kind of doing.
Yeah. Do it. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I got a new light, so light's good. I'm going to get a new 4K webcam, which should be cool. Nice. So I'll get some nice quality, so you can get some high details and get better lighting so these DVDs pop better. But yeah, stuff like that.
Hell yeah. When are you going to start doing that?
Probably pretty soon. I mean, I just want to get a new webcam, and that's it.
Yeah. Webcams are nice and handy. Like, I don't know. Before, I'd seriously like set up my cell phone and record myself, and then like try to edit that into video, and it's like such a pain in the ass. No,
there's some stuff I still want to get, like boom lights and things to bounce better, and some area that's a little more controlled lights, and so I can take some good quality photos of what I'm talking about and shit like that. So it's a process.
Hell yeah. Well, look forward to like some of our guests. I think we're still going to have Screamer Claws on coming up when we get off this break, which we just have to plan it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. I have an interview tomorrow. I'm doing Cult Collectibles, and we're going to talk and kind of just talk about what his channel that he's been doing now with YouTube, and kind of seeing what he's doing with it.
Yeah. And Horror Corridor, I got like a bunch of guests coming up. I got Kill a Factor, which is like a new rap group. Some dudes that have been doing it for a while, but they're coming together. And I got, who else did I got? Concrete, who's from Bremerton. He's been in the game for a long time. Then I got Hellbound Disciples, Rozakel. Like, it's going to be pretty fucking cool. Rozakel's a big one. I don't know if you've ever heard her, but she has some of the most fucked up lyrics in horrorcore. I'll send you some shit, and you might throw up if you hear it. It's pretty.
I don't know.
No, she's like not that fucked up anymore. But back in the day, she was pretty hardcore, and but good production too, and good. She's got good singing voice and good rap flow too. So. And yeah, so that's Horror Corridor for at least the next month. But then I got a ton of other guests that are just waiting for me to give them a date. So,
yeah, and I have some foreign ones I'm going to try to do. I might do Demiziano. I've been actually trying to possibly talk to, and So we'll see.
Does he do English interviews, or does he have a translator?
I think he's a bit on the broken that he has enough. If maybe I gave the questions ahead of time, but like I said, we'll see.
Oh, that's cool.
So, because I've talked with him and texted him and messaged him, and he seemed to be pretty quick to respond. So he at least can type well,
Cool. Hell yeah.
All right, so I want to get into shout outs too, because there's definitely, with stuff like this, you couldn't do it without the support of other people. And definitely have some major contributing people. First off, we said it before, but Silas David Massoff, thanks for everything that you've done with the artwork. Appreciate everything with that, and I enjoyed working with you.
Oh yeah, man, and thanks for reaching out to me too, just to randomly say hi and thank me for stuff. Like it meant the world when you did that. So yeah, you're just such a cool dude. So thanks for coming along with us.
Yeah, 100%. And I hope that you stick around. Jonathan Doe, especially, has been another big contributor. He's been awesome. He was one of the first people first person I interviewed, and then also one of the people I kind of just talked with to getting ideas. And he's very cool about just being understanding of somebody, of just being supportive. And I like that we've been able to kind of work a little bit back and forth with each other and give it influences onto each other and stuff like that.
And a huge influence too, like for the just kind of how we wanted our channel to just have that high quality look that his channel has, and the podcast too. Like, so he was a big influence on us.
And I'm openly admit it, kind of thing. So Daniel Valiant is definitely somebody I have to give a big shout out. And Allison of White Gardenia. I appreciate her as well coming out and doing that interview.
Thank you for sacrificing yourselves for our entertainment.
Yeah, literally, like making a form of sacrifice.
And also, like, thanks for being so fucking awesome, Daniel, at least. Allison, I think I only met her for a short bit, but Daniel, thanks for being awesome and being there for us. Like, just a cool dude.
Same big shout outs to Sam Hell, and the fact that he was so cool to do the screening and 2 other interviews, and be very open to talk. So
I know, but I remember both Daniel and Sam Hell on that episode that that screening or whatever. Like, I was in the hospital because the baby had just been born, but I popped on the Discord really quick to say hi to everyone. They're both offering to buy diapers, so I was really flattered. I was like, these 2 guys that make really graphic videos of people really cutting themselves are offering
really
to buy
humble
diapers.
souls.
So it's really cool.
Another big shout out, Marcus Cook. Definitely, like, he's awesome. Is such a good person. Like, a lot of this stuff and a lot of his movies too. He's like, oh, you want it? Here, I'll send it to you. I'll pay for shipping. Like, such an awesome person.
He's one of those dudes you just wish you could hang out with, or like you just wish there was a Marcus Cook in your side of town, to chill with. He's just super down to earth, and he's always down to do something with us too. So I mean, we're gonna do a screening with him soon. I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but we'll do a screening and a little Q&A party again soon with Marcus Cook. So
maybe
look out for that. Yeah, a couple is probably what it's going to have to be if it's what I'm thinking that we're doing. So,
and also his wife. I know Jesse Scheitz. Definitely have to do a shout out if you're going to mention Marcus Cook. You have to mention her.
Jesse, so glad to meet you, and your episode was amazing. Even though it was so last minute, but I feel like it's like one of our best episodes, like of our video stuff. So.
I think it's because we were kind of like just had to be kind of off the cuff and just chatting because we just put together, willy nilly. But I think it turned out really well. Felicia Fisher, same with like such an awesome person to chat with. Definitely 2 strong females that are in the extreme horror scene. Yeah. Sure. Another big shout out, Nathan Rummeler. Sorry that screening had some issues, and sorry we've had some technical difficulties before. But I hope you come back on and don't use that as a deterrent in any way.
I want to do another episode with him.
I want to do him and Brian Papangia
together. That would be cool.
But well, since we already, I guess, a big shout out to Brian Papandreou too, since we just mentioned him.
I'm so
Um,
glad that I got turned on to him through the show and through you because he's so fucking funny.
mhm.
Like I,
Also good.
I just never would have watched Fang Boner if it wasn't at our screening and we screened it and it was like that was such a fun night.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, Brandon Terry, another person that has an awesome podcast, is getting his hands in some films that are definitely already kind of shaking it up and getting some notice. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, Vivian Cake Quintero,
Hmm.
thank you for being an absolute sweetheart. And I really look forward to Symbolicus and seeing Symbolicus 3 and seeing all that come out and seeing how people respond to it. Um, but, keep your head up. Osri Angel, thanks for opening up. They were awesome to speak for the screening, even though they weren't asked to or anything. And appreciate that. Martin Trenford, awesome, such a cool person. He's been another person that's been really active on the Discord and been basically on every one of the screenings, and so thank you very much for that.
I'm a huge fan of his art now too. I gotta get a commission piece. Like I didn't really know much of what he did before the episode, but once you sent me a folder of his stuff to edit in, I was like, dang, this dude's talented. So
and he's done his stuff you don't realize that he's done because it's all over the place.
Like the Necromantic comic, I was like, dang, dude, Necromantic comic.
Yeah, I want to get my hands on that so bad. Let's see. Brian Paulin, thank you so much for doing the screening.
Legendary.
Yeah, I would love you to be back on, especially since we didn't get the best of quality on the audio. I would love to just essentially, you with your channel now, fully support it. Severed Cinema.
Septic. I want to get by Septic and do it'd
that
be cool to do
out and stuff. I really want to see it.
Yeah.
Severed Cinema, Chris Mayo, thank you so much for putting out that write out. You're awesome, and he's been really cool about reaching out and asking my opinions about interviews, like what I would ask to Maura and Dora, and just the fact that he's a legend and he's asking me for opinions, is an honor as well. US Sub Rosa, both of them are awesome. That's such a cool shop. They're so cool to talk with, and they're very active in the community. And if anyone's to support people that resell indie horror, definitely people to support. Bones and Brews, we just mentioned before, but that podcast is definitely kicking ass, and I like to see where that's going. Dirk's Greasy Reviews, awesome dude. I hope that call all goes well. I love the fact of anybody that just doesn't give a fuck and just is like, I want to put out what I want to put out. All sides of cinema need to be touched on. So respect. Stephen Bloodworth, awesome channel as well. He's been someone that's just kind of recently been chatting with me and been a really big supporter. So appreciate you as well.
Heck yeah, dude. I got to give a couple shout outs too, especially to Jason Porter, who offered us, I paid for it, but it was on a special. So about 2 beats for the price of 1. And so that's the music that I've been using for most of our stuff. Also got a big shout out to Marshland Monster, who's also been kind of giving us some music. So big shout out to him. And they're both guests of Horror Corridor, so I was already a fan. But yeah, it's really cool to actually be able to use their stuff in our stuff. Big shout out to Bloodshot. That interview was really, really big. A lot of people tuned in for that one, and we got to go deep, do a really deep dive into everything he built up, which is so different from any of the other horrorcore style music. Comatose as well is not somebody I ever thought I would get to talk to, so I was absolutely floored when I got to talk to Comatose. So Comatose and Bloodshot are just 2 legends, so I really hope I get to do stuff with them in the future. Darby O'Trill, is a new artist that I think is starting to catch a lot of shine, and I really appreciate the fact that he's been like following all our social medias and like just supporting us still. So that's really cool. So thanks, Darby O'Trill. Chuckles as well. That was a really last minute thing that I pulled together, but that dude's freaking humble as fuck, and he'll support anytime. So
sick ass beats too. I like the stuff that he puts out.
Oh yeah, he goes dark, you know, and does a lot of like he's very influenced by film, so like especially extreme cinema. So he was a perfect guest for the show. Like loves Fred Vogel, loves Serbian film and all that stuff. So let's see, what else do we got here?
Marshland.
Oh yeah, Marshland Monster once again. Like that episode was the longest horror corridor I've ever done, and he's not like super into the horror stuff, but he's been in the horror music game for almost 20 years now. So he was definitely not almost 20 years. I guess like 15 years is more like it, 16 years. But yeah, and then like some of the music that he's been cooking up lately is just so professional sounding. He's one of my favorite artists, just musicians in general. He's an audio engineer. He does beats. He raps. He's such a good rapper. Lots of good references. He kind of does a little bit more on the nerdcore than the horrorcore side, but it's really smart lyrics. But he also talks a lot about fucking castration and Satanism and shit. So it's really good stuff. Shane Poppenwolf, another really long episode, but we did this very deep dive, like all the way to when his career started in 2004 to now, and people might be sleeping on him because I honestly hadn't heard his name until like about a month ago. Some of the most interesting / disgusting songwriting like styles that I've ever heard since like Cage. So check out like at least a couple of his songs, especially the ones that I put on the episode. He premiered a song on our episode that he released the next day, so that was really cool. I thank him for that. So you get to, if you watch that episode with him, you get to jam out for a bit for that. Michigan Misfits, another guy. Those guys actually offered to come on. I didn't even have to ask them, and I was already kind of a fan, and I listened to them a little bit more, and I'm a big fan of them. So yeah, Michigan Misfits, thanks a lot for coming on. Tony Masiello, that dude, that was our first video podcast, and it went really well. It went really well. And he's a great dude. I really hope his company continues to succeed. I noticed that they're still putting out new releases, so that's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I just forked over and bought like 20 stuff from his site just like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely gonna do that soon. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on. So, and he had some titles that I have to see. So, yeah. We mentioned Brian. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was to say we mentioned Brian Papandrea. He was the next on my list, but funny as fuck. Fred Vogel. Holy shit. We met Fred Vogel. Episode 11 of Quality Violent Cinema. That was crazy. If you guys don't know, we did interview Fred Vogel on our first season, which was audio only. So you can only check that out now on Spotify. It'll eventually be up on YouTube. But
Anchor and Apple and all that.
Yeah. Definitely check that out. That was incredible. We talked a lot about his new stuff. We talked a lot about his old stuff, kind of like what it's done to him over the years, or like what his life's been like over the years. Just such a nice dude. Like, I can't wait to talk to him again.
Same with like James Bell is another one that we did audio with, but you know, we don't have a video for. But big shout out to James Bell. Not even just for the interview, but what he does for the indie scene.
Yeah, he provides gore to almost all the movies. Like if it's not Marcus Cook, it's James Bell. There's probably a few other ones that I'm forgetting, but it's usually one of those two, and they do great work. And James Bell makes really trippy movies that aren't like anything else. So
very surreal, very crazy.
Glad he puts that stuff out into the atmosphere.
And then, you know, big shout out to Scott Schirmer. But,
yeah,
that goes what I was saying.
That was a fun episode, and I was kind of nervous at first, to be honest, just because it doesn't happen to me much. But like some of these artists, like when it goes really deep into my past, like because I guess Found isn't that old. It's only like it's 8 years old or something. But I was just a little nervous. I was just like, dang, like I don't know, like I don't know. But then as soon as I started talking to him, just really humble dude, just like everybody else. We haven't had one bad guest yet. Like,
yeah. And it's of course, Stephen Byro. That was someone we have to mention as a obvious like big piece and a big honor to talk to him.
Yep. That episode was probably our, other than the Jonathan Doe episode, I think that episode might have been one of our biggest listened to. I mean, we're on multiple platforms now, so we actually have to like look up multiple analytics and stats to see what are doing well. But I think that one was.
But if you give it the time frame of what, and all that stuff, but but then also like we mentioned a few of them, but big shout outs to everyone in our Discord. I mean, Mr. Ramon 420, thank you for joining and thank you for being part and actually being active in our Discord. If you don't know who he is, like legend, for sure in the reviews.
Old YouTube channel for sure. We got a lot of cool, interesting people that have joined. Like recently, the Human Tack Board, is that his name?
And then the VHS. What the heck? Sorry.
Human Tack Board, like literally, like ran through weed whackers on game shows. So that was cool. A lot of the horror corridor artists have been joining up on Quality Violent Cinema. It's been really nice.
No, for sure. And a lot of directors are actually on there. And so it's cool to have it where it's not just, fans of it, but actually creators and self-promote of whatever. And even just seeing what some of the people do in self-promotion, you're like, wow, like there's some really, really talented people. So
especially Michaela, I think is their name. Michaela. Yeah, they're really funny. Shit, what was I gonna say?
Also big shout out to Goblin, I have to mention. He's been awesome. And also Visitor Q, Papa Pepperoni.
These are all weird names.
The Rat.
Just what they are. Yeah, the Rat. I haven't seen the Rat in a while, but hopefully
they've been busy or something. They have their own clown. Discord, and
I forgot to join that. I should join that.
Oh, it's cool. They definitely have a lot of support, and I think that's been mostly why you haven't seen them, because they've just been busy doing other things. So, which is good,
I'm sure I can find some clowny stuff to post on there. Yeah, the Discord experience is it's so much better. I remember what I was going to say now. Discord is so much better than Facebook right now because we are the moderators. There's no auto moderators right now, so we can pretty much post whatever you want as long as it follows our guidelines. And our guidelines are pretty loose when it comes to cinema. As long as it's art and cinema and even some stuff that's gory or true crime, we allow too.
I think there's only been like one or two posts that we had to tell somebody to take down, and it's we were very nice about it,
And like we have not safe for work pages. We have a fetish page, stuff that you can never get away with on Facebook. So Discord really is the place to be if you want to get into like underground extreme art. I would check on our server, join, get the full experience, even stuff that you might not even be getting on the channel. And then as well as the Patreon, that is going to be another place where we're going to be able to post stuff that we won't be able to put on YouTube. So.
And one cool thing I thought was funny, so on 420 we got 420 members, so we're cool when we hit 420 on 420.
Yeah, and I think I took 420 hits, so
yeah.
So it's been a really cool year. I'm really happy I met you, Christian, and big shout out to our ladies too for being supportive.
Yeah, no, 100%. With behind every great man is a greater woman.
Yep. So I mean, you can't. I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't allow their significant other to grow and do whatever they want, and they've been really supportive and like.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Presley even started the show with me, so it's
awesome. I mean, most girls would just completely just freak out if they saw a quarter of the stuff that I watch. They would be absolutely not. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, I gotta draw the line. Like, I wouldn't own half the shit that you own. So,
well, yeah.
So, anyway.
And I will eventually showcase everything, believe me. But
yeah, everybody wants a tour, man. Let us into your office, home, whatever.
Let's take a look. But yeah, for sure. It is to come.
Cool. All right. Well, that's been the episode. So thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in season 3 with some of the stuff we mentioned.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.